don't want to have your hands floating up high like you're in a boxer's guard. This is the worst place for you to be when you're playing a Florentiner, okay? What ends up happening is, over time, when you're fighting somebody, you'll start kind of tensing up, and you'll start kind of getting your hands higher and higher and higher, and this is danger. You're dead. You should try to keep them down around your hips. Keep these cocked about 40-45. You don't want them forward. You don't want them vertical. On the line, there's half a dozen different stances you can take. We're just going to kind of operate from this. Okay? You do not want to be squared up. Don't make a goal post. This is where you get stabbed, and it really kind of hurts. Okay? So don't do this. Turn your body 3/4 away. The reason for this is, if you're turned 3/4 away, and I'm going to try to stab you into here, it's a very small movement to defend yourself. Okay? If you're squared up this way, and I go to stab you, you're late, or you're just going to move it from here over to here. So you want to try to keep that thing 3/4. And when a stab does come in, you can just turn slightly. Turn your hips. You don't have to make a big arm movement. You don't have to punch this thing out of the way. You just have to comfortably turn. You come back in. So keep those things low. If you're in a protracted fight and you and I are just kind of going back and forth, if you feel your arms come up, disengage. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders down. Come back to your guard. Don't let yourself start floating up. Okay? Once you start floating up in a guard, if we're doing this and I'm playing a high game, that's a very easy shot to make. You guys understand why that works? Don't let your guard float up? Good. Next is, if you're flow, be aggressive. That's kind of your job. You don't have a big shield to hide behind. You have to make things happen. People will rarely just give you a location. They'll really just be like, hey, why don't you go hit my arm today? You have to make it happen. Body mechanics, fakes, using both swords at the same time, these can all open shots up for you. But be in the aggressive mentality. You want to make things happen instead of waiting for it. Because very rarely is it going to happen. You want to make your opportunities. Don't close your eyes. This happens a lot. Fight somebody.
Guilty.
One of two things is going to happen. I'm going to brain this guy, and he's not going to appreciate that, and I'm going to learn nothing from what I just did. Even if I won this fight, hey, how'd you win? I literally have no idea what just happened. Okay. This is foam. It does kind of hurt, but you got to get used to not wincing when this comes around. This does have a bit of a sting, but you got to have your eyes open to learn. You'll learn nothing like this. Okay. Also, don't forget to breathe. How many of you run out of breath when fighting? Now, is it because you have bad cardio or because you hold your breath against good opponents? A little bit. Cardio. It's very frequent. You'll fight someone that's good, you'll be like, don't do that. If you feel tensed up like, man, this guy's good, just take a step back. Take a breath, relax, and come back in. All right? So those are your
fighting though. It's kind of helpful just to touch it on that. To build exhaling into your basic form of throwing a shot. It's pretty consistent with how martial artists and boxers remember to breathe. Like exhale a little bit when you throw. And that way, it kind of takes care of itself. So when your lungs are empty, they'll pull the breath a little bit more naturally. But it's the exhale, the part I think people forget about.
Okay. Also, when posture, don't lean forward. Up here, got pretty good defense, right? Down here, push for these shots. I'm just asking to die. If you need an elevation change, you're going to use your knees. So if I'm fighting you, for some reason I want to leg you, instead of doing this, I could just do this. Okay? This changes not much of my profile. This changes a lot of my profile. So if you have to elevate change, knees. Work on that a little bit too. And you don't have to necessarily work on a squat unless you've got good strong knees and hips. But just get in your mind, don't lean. Don't stab and lean. Don't lean out for the shot. This is very bad mechanic. Okay? All right, now some basic stance. If you're right-handed, you're typically going to fight with your dominant hand forward. That's a common thing. Okay? What you want to practice is lead with your non-dominant hand. This is a training drill. It'll inspire you to throw more shots with your offhand. It's going to start really bad. Your shot's going to look really horrible. You ever tried to sign your name with your offhand? Looks terrible. Same idea. But your body hasn't made any connections yet of how to use your offhand. If you fight right-hand dominant, you'll do this a lot. Oh yeah, I got one of these too.
Single short with a second sword hanging out.
Yeah. Well, let's go pull it out here and be like, this is a sword now. I got a shield. Whee! But left-handed, it makes you think a little more like, huh, what do I have? Even your most basic of squat, which is this. This is really super lame and basic. That's okay. Because this is telling him I can threaten with my left hand. This is going to do something. Versus just sit over here and collect dust. The border, right hand, that's a good way to kind of keep their tension up. So just think, left hand, what am I going to do with this? Stab, chop, whatever you got. So first we'll go with stance. So again, your left foot or right foot goes forward. Your toe points to where you're going to go. If your toe is pointed a different direction, your body will force you that direction. The knee is not made to function that way. So if I'm pointing my toe this way and I want to step forward, I'm going to end up over here. Okay? So try that out so you understand what I'm talking about. Now point your toe where you don't want to go and watch what happens. Okay? We're understanding movement out a little bit. You can see it in your opponents too. If I'm fighting an opponent and he's got his foot turned in this way, I know when he goes to make a step, he's probably going to end up turning this way. This is just some weird shuffle foot fitted stuff. Broken L, knees slightly bent, weight in the balls of your feet. Okay? Shift back to your heels and feel what that feels like. It feels wrong, doesn't it? Can you make fast movements from your heels? Can you explode forward from your heels? Okay? Roll to your balls of your feet. Now, shuffle step forward. Propel off your back foot. Push down with the direction. If you want to go on the other side, you can still push away. If I want to go this way, I can push that way. You can push that way. You should maintain your stance. If you want to change the stance at some point, you can. You're just going to reverse your feet, and notice how your body and shoulders will follow you. Keep that up. When you move, keep that as you move around. If I'm going to fight that, come forward, please. If him and I are in a match, I don't want to be like taking big steps everywhere. Okay? I want the smallest movement possible. Right now I'm in a safe range. I want to get to a range where I can strike him without going like this. Up here. Little movement. Harder to see coming. Just like this. From here. What am I going to do next? Ready? Just like this big lead in is an obvious move. So is the footwork step. About half a second to see me rear up and pushing out versus just, right? So you guys to pair up, and I want you to basically do a mirror. So I'm going to press on him forward with that little shuffle step. He's going to take a step back. He comes at me, I'll take a step back. If I come out to an angle, he should go to an angle. Okay? So pair up, there's about 3 minutes of this so you understand the concept. The short ones are how you can sneak into range. If you got someone like you, I've probably got longer reach than you, right? Extend your sword. So I'll kill you all before you kill me. So you have to find a way to get and close that range up. And big steps isn't going to do it. I'll see it coming. But little tiny stuff, when you're kind of getting your stuff together, these little hops, that 6-inch gap closes really, really fast.
Do you tend to circle off center when you do that?
I do. The idea is, if I distance her like this, and I just walk in this perfect circle, we're not going to get any closer. So I try to take little tiny steps when I do this thing. We square it up, take little baby steps. So I'm closing this very, very gradually. And now, if she just does a lunge, she's going to hit me. She's close 6 inches very, very easily. Less noticeable than by going, wee, this. And once she's got to that point where that 6 inches, she can take that little hop and make it happen. If you also notice, a lot of this drill wasn't just forward and back. It's coming off of your center line. I don't want to attack you straight in here. I want to come out this direction. My shots are more open, a little more defense, and I've got a better target profile, okay? Just pick somebody and have them just stand still and notice the difference between standing right here and then standing right here. There's a whole different wealth of shots. So real quick, just two people look at each other. When you stand still, take a big step left and try to get a big step right. You can just see the huge difference in targets you can hit. Go ahead. So we were just showing them is a stance for me, please. If I want to come around to this side, it's important that you can take your on hand and come and cross it off. Take away that attack vector of his while you're attacking. I've got both his swords temporarily tied up. You can do it from the opposite direction as well. You're going to come in. This is good for you to practice on your offhand side, okay? You're going to start from your good sword back. You're going to come in. You're going to step to here and take both these out of the equation and wrap with your left. It's important to get your offhand mojo rising. This is where a lot of your stuff's going to come from. If I'm fighting him, whether he's got sword, board, single, or both, if I don't ever attack with this, he's never going to respect it. he has to know that I'm willing to do something with the sword. Any damn thing, okay?
I think it's also important caveat, like even if your left hand's not super threatening and you're not real confident in it, you still need to get it in the fight. Like not every shot has to kill or hit your opponent, but if you show that, yes, I will swing at you with my left hand, it expands the context of the things that they have to be aware of and will get them to at least worry about it. It doesn't have to be a great shot to hit them. It just has to hit them. So make sure that they're at the very least, threatened by your left hand to some degree.
Something you can do in your off time with your non-dominant hand is try some everyday tasks, such as brushing your teeth with your left hand. You're going to stab yourself in the gums and feel like an idiot. Drink with your left hand. You're going to spill some on yourself. Pro tip, do it with ice cream or soup. You're going to wear some of it. But you'll notice because your brain hasn't created pathways for your left hand or right hand to do much. It's not used to it. So you're going to train it in little ways. Try signing your name a couple times a day with your left hand. See how it goes.
I ended up painting a house with my left hand. It helped my Florentine a lot.
I had shoulder surgery about like 6-7 years ago, so I was stuck with left only, having to brush my teeth, comb my hair, open doors, get the jug of milk, and it was a big difference. At first, I had no idea how this hand even worked. By the end of it, I was doing some pretty good stuff with it. So if you take everyday tasks, in just 5 quick minutes while you're brushing your teeth, just switch to your left, give it a little bit of work. Pour your milk with your left hand, give it a shot. That's a little tiny training that'll help you out with your flow, because all of a sudden your left hand is no longer a vestigial organ. It's going to have an actual job to do, okay? The center line, range. This is an important thing we just talked a little bit about. If you have range, you have to use it. If I've got more range than Tato does, I really don't want to spend a lot of my time up in here because he's going to cut all my angles off. I want to do as much as I can from out here. He's got a shorter range, so he has to close with me. So if you know you've got a shorter range than your opponent, you can't fight from range. He'll never hit me from that far. Right? But he can come in on me. So next I want you to pair up with somebody who is taller than you or shorter than you, so you get an idea of how to keep range and how to get past it. And you're trying to find a way to get some range closed in. An excellent way to do that is, remember how we just did that drill where mirroring back and forth? Okay? So if him and I are sparring and he comes at me, and I take my step back, how about I take a step forward? I've closed a lot of range in a short period of time. And that's part of that mirror drill, is get used to finding that angle they're coming at and back it up. When they press again, close it. You can close about 1.5 feet that way as opposed to just 6 inches. And since their mental process is, I'm going to aggress, and I'm probably going to fall away, when I counter-aggress, the brain kind of goes, wait a minute. And that's the moment you want to move into, okay? So keep that in your pocket for later. We still have more stuff to go over. Offhand shots. A real basic, easy one is a chop, okay? Let me see you guys throw a chop. See how you do it. Okay? You can beat the air, you don't have to hit somebody. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of lever and extend. This is not a great way to throw a chop. Your arm is exposed, you're really giving a lot of range you don't need to have, and it's very slow. You can throw a chop by coming straight down this way, okay? I'm pulling my sword away from danger, I'm just trying to hit, right? I'm not leveraging out. I'm not trying to close a lot of distance. I am going to come straight down. Okay? Think of your arm like it's the wheel of a railroad track. You're trying to get this motion with it. Okay? Don't lever your wrist over. Don't extend your elbow. You want to keep that thing in a guardable position. Okay? Give that a shot for about a minute. So training, I'm pretty sure everyone knows flat wrap. Everyone knows not the high cross. You guys have an idea how to stab, right? Okay?
Did the church lie to me?
That's possible. Where you point your thumb is where your stab is going to go. If you're having a square with somebody and I end up stabbing him in the neck, $90 says it's because my thumb is pointed right at his neck. Be very cognizant of that. If you're finding stabs in the face or off target, chances are your thumb is not pointing the right direction. Okay? I'm tight Tato here, and I'm going to stab him. I'm going to miss him over his shoulder big time because my thumb is pointed right that way. Okay? I'm going to stab. I got to get that thing pointed forward in that direction and then move in. It's going to follow where your thumb goes. Okay? Stab with Florentine is kind of important. This is the way you can kind of set yourself apart. People do not like to be stabbed. It sets a little mental note with them next time around. I know how to stab you, and it's probably going to happen. A good habit to get into is use that left hand of yours. Stab is going to come from low. You're not going to jab with your arm. That's not the purpose of this. You're going to turn with your hips. Okay? A couple good stabs on him, he's going to remember it. In the future, I'll throw a stab and he'll probably overreact. The best way to incorporate this is to take that step to your side again.
Can you tie them up and throw that stab at the same time?
You can, but I want you to get used to your offhand doing some stabbing. Because a lot of times you're going to fight a right-handed sword and border, right? Tato's going to left-hand stab me. Right through guard, right through, past my body. He can come inside my pommel, outside my pommel, underneath to low hip, a lot of directions. Sword and border is going to be harried by this. And this is where you can kind of start building yourself a little book of technique. So I want you guys to try that. Bit of a hook stab. You're going to step out to your offside. Elbow locks, hand and wrist lock. Turn the body, okay? Any questions about this one?
If you're a lefty by nature, are you just reversing it?
Just use your right instead, yeah. No questions? All right, pair up with someone different. Make new friends.
Friends.
Do it later. Still trying to learn how to do that right-handed.
Have you sword work me real quick? Okay, so if I was fighting left-handed, so I didn't have a right sword at all, and I want to hit that lefty scoop that all lefties love to throw. They love this, right? That's their big bread and butter. If I do this, and he gets a block down, what's probably going to happen? He's just going to come right here and murder me. I don't have a lot to do with this. In flow, you have a second sword. So if we know with single sword, I would get hit on the inside from here. What should I do with this one?
Put it in the way.
Okay? In all your shots that happen, think about this. What if I was only single sword? Where am I going to be open? Where am I likely to get myself murdered? Get this thing in there to help block you out. Another fun stab I like is sort of a corkscrew. I like to flow for this one. I like to flow for this one. There's always this come stand in, lead foot stab, right? This involves no other body motion except moving forward. That's an easy stab, fencer's lunge. Lock it up, aim it in tight, hop forward, there you go. Corkscrew is I'm trying to misdirect him. I'm not trying to hit him here or here, this way, okay? Palm starts facing ground, turns inside, goes in. Still moving body, not just jabbing with an arm. This is still here to defend myself. If he had armor, if he had slough power, if he's just a bad person, I want to be able to defend myself before it comes through. So work on that for about a minute. Again, it's palm starts up, elbow collapses into your body, and come inside. Okay? Try it real quick.
Leading with main or offhand?
Offhand is best to practice, but try with your main first to get the idea of the movement.
Okay. I was not born with natural ambidexterity.
Okay? We've already touched on that with using your left hand for more and more things. The more you use your left hand, your brain will start figuring out how it works. Like I said, leading with your offhand forward is going to induce you to throwing more shots with that hand. There's going to be a lot of trial and error. You're going to lose a lot, which is okay. You're trying to train. The overall purpose is not winning. It's just to find out how this thing works out. Okay? So really do those off-time exercises. The brushing the teeth thing really actually helps. Okay?
Range control.
Range control?
Flow.
Okay.
Like board. It's kind of like I know where he's got one sword, and if I can figure out where he can attack from that side, I'm good for the most part.
Okay.
Flow, it's like he could like be here and this side, and then suddenly like this one's further forward.
Right.
That type of stuff.
So everybody's familiar with the ranges? Red, green, and yellow? If you're not, don't be afraid to speak out. This is a basic class. We want to make sure it's done right.
I haven't heard the phrase.
Okay, so you have three ranges. Green is where you're safe. I can't reach him, he can't reach me. Even with a step forward or a good little lunge, we're still both relatively safe. Okay? Yellow is when you are not there. I got a little tiny movement and I can catch him. A little movement for him, he can catch me. This is dangerous. We're not a huge threat because if he does lunge and I'm not ready, I can step forward. I can just come back to green and be safe. Red is when you're right here. All shots, all danger all the time. Someone's going to get hit. This is where it's coming in. You have to learn your opponent's ranges to know where you're standing. If I want to be safe and I'm way the hell back here, this fight's never going to engage. I'll always just walk off. Right about here is where I feel good. Unexpected things happen, I can back away, take a moment. Oh, he didn't know what he's doing there. Hang on. Come back to here. I want to cross at the very, very edge of green and try to get as far into yellow as I can. That gives me space to escape, space to attack. I don't want those big steps again. That's not what's supposed to happen. I want to make a short hop. If he does something unexpected, it's okay to back up. Competition. So you have to feel it out a little bit, okay? Look at the body, look at the height. Tall guys tend to have long, lanky arms. Tall guys use 36-inch swords because we want to use all the range on the planet. So you're going to do is kind of fish and find what the person's range is. Kind of hang out at that green and yellow and try to induce them to throw some shots. He's got a good, strong denial guard. I'm not going to land anything, but now I'm telling him all of my ranges. He's very aware of what this is. If you know what my range is with the left, you can double it with the opposite side. If I step forward, that's about 2 more feet than I had previously. Safe. Danger. Imminent danger. Okay? So when you're planning up shots, think about how you progress through these ranges. Safe, time to plan. Yellow, time to execute. Red, better do it right or get the hell out. And every plan should have a step 5, which is get out of there. Step, attack, counter, block, get out. And just because I'm fighting him and I catch this hip wrap, I shouldn't just stop and leave it here and be like, all right, time to go home. Throw shot, back to guard, all the time, every time, back to guard every time. Don't just leave it out. I'll just wait and see what he's going to take on this. Then he kills me. I have no one to blame but me. If I throw that shot and I think it maybe should have landed, get the hell out of range, and then ask, hey, was that hip or was that leg? It was obviously leg. Cool. This conversation right here, bad spot to have it. Back here, good spot to have it. Okay?
That's a caveat. He's a shorter person who has to close more. Be very careful that you don't think, well, I managed to close on Deimos. It's never going to happen again. So I'm going to stay here and throw endlessly until the fight is over. You could just close it in. Like if it's not going your way, if it's outside of the context of your plan, step back and close just in a different way. But you need to continually kind of build a portfolio of different ways to spring that distance. But don't think just because you got in here that, well, now Deimos isn't any good anymore because I'm short and he's not. You have a very likely chance of also getting hit. So just close, get what you're doing, get out.
We talked at the top of the hour too about when you're the shorter person, instead of walking in a straight circle, take little tiny steps in there. That hides a lot of this movement. Even though I'm kind of leaning back and trying to maximize my space, I'm still getting closer and closer. He can take me now at any point he wants to. And that's what you want to focus on with your flow, is find that outside minimal range and operate from there. Same with like a pole arm. Someone's got a big ass pole arm out.
Tell me there's one on hand.
Everybody hates getting stabbed with a pole arm, right? This sucks. So, he's going to run this pole. He wants to do it and control this as much of the way as possible, right? Biggest threat's going to be someone with a scabbard trying to murder chop him down. He needs to hang out outside of the range and be safe. He's going to take those little tiny baby steps and start closing. And the first step he's going to make is to control my pole, right? So, I feel safe. He's out of range. We're all good. Not a big deal. I have not much recourse. If he tries that from a farther distance away and just starts to boldly charge in, you give the pole guy way too much time to figure out where to shoot. So you cut the corners, walk in nice and slow, little tiny movements, and take that big first step, control it, and then come in and murder the guy. Try not to swipe out, try to stab. A lot of guys will block with a pole just like this. And people throw in their shots, throw outside. I don't have to do much to defend this, but if he stabs, there's not a lot of ways I can defend myself. Okay, so this is an extreme answer to your range question. Where'd you go? Okay. Stand there, stand there. This is where you die, right?
Yep.
So you know it's good. That's a very obvious movement. Try it again. Come back. Take little tiny steps though. Circle around. There. Boom. See? Okay. Any questions on this one? You want to try it out? Yeah. Next. Questions or concerns? What do you got?
The biggest problem with flow is just avoiding the endless simos.
A lot of times that happens is because the person has thrown a shot, like this big lefty thing, with no regard for defending. That's kind of the part you want to think about. Yeah, a lot of people, I see this all the damn time. It's like, ready, go, reset. And they do the same damn thing like 9 times in a row. Just like with that first thing we're working with in the guard, I'm coming around, just to control this part, this is a really big first step, okay? Think every shot as if you only had a single sword. Where am I vulnerable? Where can I get hit from? And where can I put this sword to help protect it? This big lefty scoop is kind of your first best lesson. This comes in, this just protects him. I'm protecting him from coming across and getting my shoulder, sniping my arm, whatever he's got, I need it to protect me. This is kind of good for your offhand practice because you're going to be using your offhand to attack, and your good hand that you're really confident with should be able to block. Because everyone's coming to right hand, right? I know what this thing is doing. I can put this anywhere.
Also, we did cover at the beginning to be aggressive with Florentine because, yeah, it's good to take control of the fight. But I think it's important to highlight that being aggressive doesn't necessarily mean you always need to be swinging. Like, I could be aggressive with Deimos from the outside. Like, you certainly could zoom in a little bit and bail out. Just make sure that he's not getting the time to settle in and get real comfortable and start making a plan. You just kind of circle out and juke at him, intimidate him a little bit. If you need to put like, I lost that reference. What was it? There's an antacid you put in your mouth and it makes you foam in the mouth of little giants. Rabies! Yes, just pretend you have rabies. Yeah, straight rabies for the Z virus or something. But you could be aggressive without exposing yourself and getting in real close and pounding on it. Continual circling, lots of jukes. Maybe even if you're on the outside, I can still reach your sword. I can be aggressive by chipping away to score with safe shots where I'm not really exposing myself. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Aggressive is not blindly aggressive. Don't think barbarian fight after death. We didn't touch a lot on planning, but planning is the most important thing in Amp Guard. I never thought of this in my fighting career until SKBC 8 years ago. I did a couple moves, and my instructor went, "So, what were you thinking?" And I literally wasn't. Like, I was trying to hit you here and then try to hit you over here. He goes, "Well, was that your plan?" Plan? That was your whole plan? I didn't know you had to make a plan. And that's really the higher end part of Amp Guard. You just don't walk up and be like, "All right, we're going to fight. Oh, I'm going to hook stab him." Well, I hook stabbed his hand. That was my whole plan. Didn't have anything else. Start your plans in 2 steps or 3 steps. If you can incorporate your opponent, better. I'm going to shift to my right. My opponent's probably going to fire for my arm. Block and return. Don't do 7-step complicated plans. You'll never be able to figure out when you should have gone back to review. You want easy stuff. 1, 2, 3. I do a thing, I disengage, evaluate. Well, I planned on doing this, but I didn't execute that. So the plan didn't fail, I just didn't put it in there right. I'm going to try it again. I try this move against Tato, blat, it doesn't work. That doesn't mean the move doesn't work, it means that Tato was ready for it. So I have to reevaluate my planning. Flow is going to be a lot about planning because people with sword and board are really hard to fake out. You've got to figure out how to make that shield move. One of my favorite easy ones is just a 3-step juke. If he's got a shield up, it's going to be high, low, high. Or it's going to be low, high, up. The idea behind it is not complicated. I'm trying to catch the opponent and their thought process. First movement, not much defense. Oh, he tried a thing. Second movement, I've been faked. My shoulder must be exposed. Overcorrect. Part down here is open. Very step, easy, 3-step plan. I don't just keep throwing shots blindly all day long. It's something to give a shot to. Or, if they've got a punch shield, hook, stab the outside corner. And then, stab the inside. Have plans, have plans, have plans. Same with the defense. Don't throw a shot and just forget about it. Think this through. Why did this work? Why didn't this work? What could have made it better? Most of fighting is going to be in your head. From this point forward, you really have to think a lot about your fights. When you're done, back up. If you're dead in the ditch, replay the whole thing in your brain. What just went down? This, that, this, okay. maybe I should have tried this. Next time around, file that away, try it again. So a long answer to your question, but think about your defense as well as your offense too. Just don't dedicate one sword. This is always my defense sword, always my offense. Just go get a shield. It's easier that way.
Fan of flow stabs. I eat him like a fat kid. Like, what do I do against stabs?
Why do you think they work?
Bad stance, bad range control on my part.
Come over here real quick. Are you not reacting to them? One guard. Yeah. Okay. So, if at any point you're confused with what I'm doing, take that step back and away. Remember that the exercise we did? So I'm going to come and hook stab you again, but this time just react accordingly. Yeah, see, it doesn't take a whole lot. If you're not expecting it, just take a step back. Don't run backwards all day long. No one wants to see that. Hook
If
the
someone's
stabs.
about to do something, just
Yeah. Good. Don't make big movements. Let your feet do it for you. You don't have to move your hands everywhere to make your defenses. If I'm here in a nice static guard, if someone's to whack my hip, I don't have to do this. I can do this, right? Stabs work because of the weird oblique angles they can come into. Here, here, knee, backwards. My favorite of mine is that. If you're worried about a stab, back up. The other defense of a stab is chop. If I go and try to stab you, just chop. Boom. Remember, don't reach out. Do this. See? You can control the tip easier than anything else, okay? So you want to push the tip of your sword. Resist me, okay? Not much work. Resist me, okay? Not so much. If stab's the problem, if a step's kind of low and they're prepping for it, like this, yep, just quick jab it out of the way. Nope, none of that. No steps today. If you can incorporate that with a forward movement instead, yeah, see? Perfect. You don't have to just sit there and take it. If you know a guy that's aggressively a stabber, turn the tables on him. Aggress hard. Because he's thinking, I'm going to fight you. I know you eat stabs all day long. I don't got time to think about this. Well, I'm thinking, how am I going to stab this guy? If you're already good in my face, now I got to think of something else. It'll put him on the defense and teach him I'm not going to stand here and wait for this anymore. Okay? Okay. Whether you fail or succeed, the process of I am not going to wait is an important statement to make. Okay?
Well, I want to add one thing to that stabbing. The context of when you get stabbed is important too. If you feel like it's important to note if you feel like you're getting stabbed when you are attempting to get close or execute an offensive plan, oftentimes what's happening there is you're not incorporating enough lateral movement and you're incorporating too big of a tell for when you want to rush forward. So a lot of the times you end up stabbing yourself because you fly into basically an extended sword because your hands are up high and you're ready to execute, you know, your offensive plan. We're going to chop up here and the sword just sneaks to the bottom. So pay attention to when too.
Feel good? Okay.
When is it appropriate to switch which side you're using as your dominant side?
Whenever you feel the need to.
Oh, okay.
Any point.
Okay.
There's never a wrong time unless you get killed during it. Now it's just an accident.
There's no like advantageous time to switch, or
It depends when you want your feet to move somewhere. So let me borrow you real quick. Like the earlier shot with this left-handed thing, if I'm going to stab in here or even go for a hook, this is kind of a weird thing. Whereas I can, in the same movement, just pivot this foot across and step.
okay.
Because realistically, here's your sword side forward. If you flip your stance,
Yeah.
you can do it mid-fight. If you're just kind of sizing somebody up, you just don't feel right about it. Switch it up, see how they respond to it. Back and forth. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Friends don't dance. If they don't dance, no friends of mine. Yes, Pell work is important. Who knows how a Pell works?
It stands there and gets hit.
Correct. Human Pells are fun, but they don't be your friend for very long. Look up Pell drills on YouTube. Those are really great ways to learn your shots and shot combos. It's a very simple thing. Get a dummy. Those Century Bob punching targets are great. Step aside for a second. It's going to teach you locations like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to start with just going 1, 1. 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Next time, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, etc., etc. You go all the way, 1 through 6, back to 1, and then you use your offhand, where it all turns to crap. But that's still part of your learning experience. Over time, you'll stop seeing an opponent thinking, I'm going to swing for his arm. You'll think, I'm going to throw a 1-6 combo. 1-6. Or 1-1, 1-1-2, whatever you want to work on is up to you. You can do it with a tree and your foam sword. You can do a piece of rebar and the light pole, it doesn't matter. Swords will appreciate you not getting them killed though. But pellet work is really important. It'll also teach you those stabs. If you want to get good with stabs, hang a tennis ball from the roof, about chest height, line it up, stab it. When it starts to swing, catch it again. Juggle it if you have to. Speed bag, whatever it takes. The idea behind that is you have a very small target you want to hit with your sword. You train your body to hit it. On the body is a tennis ball. If you move to the side and it's swinging, the tennis ball's still going to be in this range. But that's a fantastic way to get your stab practice on. Very cheap. Tennis balls like 89 cents at Dick's. It's fishing wire. You're good to go. Okay?
Sorry, I already made one comment. What types of shots? We did a lot of stabs today. What types of other shots might you open with?
Flat cross is my favorite open shot because the flat cross is not the high cross. This is the high cross. This is the terrible shot. Don't do this. If you're good friends with somebody, punch them in the armpit. This is a terrible shot. I can accomplish the same idea with a flat cross going through the same area. Just this. I'm not endangering myself. If he counters, I'm already here to D. A flat cross is basically kind of like a boxer's jab. I'm not trying to knock him out. I'm trying to set him up for something. Don't reach. Don't expose it. Give it these quick, short movements. Jab, jab, finish. Jab, jab, stab. Jab, jab, reverse. Whatever it takes. But the flat cross is simply pump just forward and flat. It's just this. Okay. Throw it. Good. You should rebound halfway back to your shot. Go. Again. Good. Now try high cross. Which one's better?
Flat.
Everyone agree? Who wants to throw a high cross?
Yes.
Want to?
Right. I always want.
If someone high crosses and you're a Florentiner, it is your duty to do this. Armpit, pectoral, let them have it. They should learn very fast. They don't want to throw a high cross as a Florentiner.
That'll get real sore real fast.
The arm will start floating back down again.
I've seen a lot of different people hold their stance a certain way, like hold their swords a certain way. I've seen people hold them here. I've seen people hold them like this before. I don't know which way you think is the most efficient to keep them without tying yourself up.
There isn't the most efficient way. There's just the way you practice.
Okay.
There's various YouTube videos on the types of guards to go into, and I recommend you all go look them up and just find which one fits your best. Some people want to do that kind of that road cross guard. Some guys want to do this. Some like to do that. Really find out what's most natural.
Does it just depend on what you're most comfortable with?
Yeah. Where you feel you have the most coverage, where you feel your feet move the most. And you can just spend a whole day out on a ditch field, just assume that stance and get into contacts and he can fight you and he can kill me all day long and that's fine. But I want to find out where my comfort level is in here. If I find that he keeps sniping my outside arm, because my elbow's chicken winging out too far, maybe I better find a different stance. If I do this a lot, doing this kind of thing, and he starts taking advantage of this and I don't know where to go next, maybe I'll change it up and try something different. A really good flow fighter can transition through 4 or 5 different guards, depending on the situation that they want to have happen. And that's going to be home study for you guys. Because it's going to be just trial and error. Find the stance you like, go into your guard, practice some shots on a tree, whatever it's going to be, and just feel like, oh, all right, that's not bad. I still got this to make some extra shots or make some defense with, whatever it takes. Fair question, fair answer?
Yep.
Probably wouldn't relegate yourself to just one. I'd try to use all of them, and I would try to incorporate as many of them as I can, because they tend to result in different kinds of situations depending on the fight.
And is that just something you have to figure out for yourself, which ones work best in different situations?
Yeah, I think Florentine, especially Florentine is so complicated that I know personally I struggle to verbalize hey, this is exactly why I hold my swords this way. But I do find that they seem to elicit different situations, and sometimes those different situations that they elicit will depend on my body type versus your body type. If I hold my swords a little bit higher, well, I'm 4.5 feet tall. so it's not gonna mess me up in the way that it might mess up like a polar fish. So you need to kind of see like what's gonna happen when you do that. But like, there's so many different combinations of possible results that I think you have to write a whole other class on that. But they just play with them and then be like, hey, well if I stand this way, if I'm fighting Deimos, I do know that at least this forearm is covered over here, and also as you saw, it does draw that lunge in there. So maybe I can get him to throw that shot at me if I hold that there and try to counter it. So you gotta try to want to look through the obvious change of cause and effect based on where you hold your sword, draw your conclusions from there. Maybe like incorporate 2 or 3.
Also, practice in front of the mirror. Get your stance, find what you're going to be at, and just look and see, where am I open? Where are some very likely avenues of attack? If I was fighting me, where would I throw a shot? This, something like this. Just kind of think this over. Where are my holes? Okay. If, like what he was showing, when he had the crossover here, this was a very obvious thing. So he can incorporate that into his plan. Most people are going to go, oh, look at that hip. Ha! Oh, shit. Was not expecting that. Got murdered. The mirror will show you where those are going to be. No matter what stance you're in, how you're doing it, you'll see where your holes are. Lots of introspection, a lot of thought process, but that's really the biggest part of SKBC for me, was learning the mental game. Previously, it was just, I'm going to be faster than that guy. And then there are guys that are faster than me. And I had no answers. Be the smartest guy in the field, not the fastest. Best way you can do for yourself. Okay? Any other questions? All right, so the last takeaways, your basics, remember, L stance, bend the knees, pause your feet, guard up, turn your torso away. Do some home study, find the guard you want to fight from. Use your feet more than anything else. Don't lean. Work on shots with your left hand. Practice off times with other weird stuff, brushing teeth, brushing hair, whatever it takes. Keep an eye out for, look at Run One Grind Nation on Facebook. Deimos has all kinds of tutorials going up all the time. There are SKBC videos on YouTube back from 2007. So if you've got a topic you want to get some extra research on, they're all out there. Warlord Weekly puts out a new move about every week, some really cool stuff, some in-depth, wonderful things to learn from. You guys have a metric ton of resources. You should make sure you use every one of them that you can. That's how you're going to improve. And don't be afraid to fail. Just work your asses off.
I wanted to super emphasize that with you because at my part, myself and one other gentleman started keeping up with the videos that are being posted. And over the course of about 4 months, you watched us jump from bottom rung to easily contending top 2 over the course of just weeks.
Because they don't just show you, hey, here's what this shot looks like. They'll explain in step detail why this shot works and where your body is supposed to go. There wasn't these resources around when I was coming up, so I had to learn a lot of stuff the hard way. And I've got a level ceiling about here. You guys have it about here. Because SKBC travels, these videos are readily available. No one's charging for them. Instructors are super welcoming. If you have any questions, just pull us aside. We're here for you guys. We're the employees. You're our customers. So if we're just sitting around and you're like, hey, can I get some advice on X, Y, Z? Yeah, we're going to give it to you. That's our job here. We want to make you learn and make you better. So focus on your foundation techniques. Do your best to fight from that. Branch out a little bit and test it, and then come back to your foundation. Really polish these moves, and that's what's going to make you a better fighter long term. Okay? Anything else? All right, I think that's our time.